so much for joining me today. This is Whitney with the Yoga Art Space Studio. And today we've got an aerial yoga practice focused on strengthening the core. So gonna be a fun one, making sure we're nice and strong, getting stronger as we go. And so with this idea to help us get started, strong core, strong body, strong life. So from there, let's go ahead and come all the way inside of our fabric. So grab onto the very edge of it, wave it left and right, nothing swiveled over. Hook your thumbs on that front. Take about 5 good grips into your hands, bringing our way about halfway into the mat. Now come under the plumb line before you head on in. I like to start off just nice and comfortable with a mini Shavasana. And so as we're laying here, place your arms in a very comfortable position and begin to consider this question. Where does my strength come from? What is my motivation? Motivation usually comes from something outside of us, someone that we're wanting to help, someone that inspires us. And that is absolutely fantastic. Notice if instead your inspiration comes from inside. I just want to feel good. I want to be strong enough to do the things that I need to do in my life. That's also beautiful. Neither's right, neither's wrong. Just notice which direction it comes from for you. Take 3 more good, deep breaths. And then after all 3, take a moment stretching the arms all the way to the wall behind you. And let the shoulders go right. And let the shoulders go left. Take 1 more stretch right. And left. Beautiful. Gripping onto the fabric and up above, we come to sit all the way up. Kicking our feet free, here we set up for our first core position. This is a nice boat pose. So we're balancing on our hips, our knees come in, our hands are floating unless we need to grab onto the fabric for that extra support. So from this position, extend the toes out and then bring the knees in. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Dropping the knees down. We're taking a back bend. Slide the hands along the back edge. And start to feel the spine open up so nicely for your body. Sitting back up, slide the fabric up to your armpits, creating a nice easy place to lay back, and then clasp the hands behind the head to help support the weight of the head. From here, toes go out, and we're keeping the legs long this time. From here, we're going with 3 different directions of the legs coming in and then lowering back down. The first direction is directly up and down. The second direction, twist over to the right side and then over to the left side. So that fun little swing that adds on. So then repeating all 3. Up and right and left and up, right, left. 3 more sets. Up right, left, up, right, left. Last set. Up, right, left. Good job. Resting the knees down, come to sit back up. This helps us to come into an inversion. The thumbs hook onto the fabric that's behind you. That helps us to bring the fabric to the back side of the hips. So it's your belt line. Lean back, keeping the fabric on that belt line. We grab back on for a moment so that we can extend the legs up nice and wide and wrap the ankles before letting go. Give your spine a couple of good breaths just to find this beautiful length. And then from here, taking fingertips behind the ears, we're going to go for 10 crunches. So crunching up, and then lower down, go backwards, and then down. In toward the belly, back toward the butt. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Resting, just let your body hang for a few extra breaths. If you'd like to release the right leg to point down behind you, perhaps take a moment grabbing onto that foot with one or both hands. In a brief moment, just pulling the toes in toward the glutes, that nice quad stretch. And then straighten the arms, kick the foot into the hands, a nice back bend. Release the hands, rewind that right foot, and then take the left leg to that same spot behind you. One or both hands grabbing on. Start off pulling it in toward the glute. And then push the foot into the hands for that nice arch through the whole spine. Beautiful. Unwind both legs, dropping them down. A nice deep bow pose. And then slide the hands up to the fabric. Gaze up toward the core. And then walk the hands all the way up. Take a break for a moment, floating in child's pose. Sometimes I like to do neck rolls here, making sure to loosen up anything that's tight. Beautiful. When we rise back up to sit, we've got one last pose right here before we head out. This is another boat pose variation, balance on the hips. The knees come in. Once you're here floating in boat, we let our legs do bicycles. So one leg circles out and then the other leg. Just repeat. If you ever need to take breaks, that's always okay when we're working on the core because everybody's at a different spot. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Dropping the knees down. Come up to sit. We're bunching up the fabric into each of our hands. From here, L sit, the legs extend out at a 90-degree angle from the hips. Keep the legs at that 90-degree angle as you start to lean back. And eventually, with as much control as possible, do a complete flip all the way around. Good, resetting with the fabric out in front of us. Take just a nice little stretch. Upper body goes forward, hips go backward. Maybe a little bit of sway left and right. Beautiful. Bending the knees, roll up to stand. We take our right ankle into the fabric, gripping on. From here, just a nice little split stretch, sinking your weight forward, however deep it wants to go right here. Beautiful. Bring your weight back over the standing leg. Slide your hands up as high as you can comfortably reach. And then while keeping this leg, the straight leg inside the fabric, we're going to do a few nice little pull-ups. I would like us first to slide the fabric to the arch of the foot though. So we're able to practically stand on it. So gripping up high, the foot's in place. Let's go for 5 pull-ups. So from here, going for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bend the knee, come all the way up to stand, and then kick this left leg out in front of you. Trying to balance with that leg lifting. Do little tiny pulses up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Grip on tight. As you pull yourself into a little flex arm hang, lift the right toes up, catching them on the fabric, and you're lowering yourself down in front of the fabric. So essentially we just caught that right foot in the fabric right behind you. From here, find your balance. If you need to grip on, you're gripping from behind. Otherwise, hands can float like little balance beams off to each side. And here, we're going for a nice little lunge. The standing knee bends as the back knee goes behind you. And then everything together in front of you. Repeating that, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands go down to the ground. We step this left foot up into plank pose. With this first side, we're just holding in a straight plank until you need to drop the left knee down to the ground. Remember, it's better to jump slightly up and then maybe collapsed down. Keep on going if you've still got a few more breaths left in you. Whenever you need to drop the knee down, it's setting up for pigeon pose. So left knee down, toes swivel off to the right side, and then sinking the hips back. And planting the hands down in front of you again. The back leg tucks, the toes touching at the back of the mat like a three-legged dog. Lift the hips up high. Shift the shoulders over the wrists as you bring the left knee into the nose. And then planting it back down, three-legged dog. Let's repeat. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Good. Lower all the way on to the hip. So left hip down, right leg is still caught in the fabric. From here, we're doing a few hip lifts. The right hand's on the ground, the left elbow's on the ground. That structure helps us to lift the hips up 5 times. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower all the way onto your back. The right foot still caught. From this arrangement, the left leg lifts up, and then our hips lift. Hips down, left leg down. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's kick the right foot out of the fabric. Try to roll up and come up to stand if at all possible. We got one more side, and then we'll end with our nice Shavasana. You're almost there already. So this time, left leg goes into the fabric. Just catch it at the ankle at first. Just grabbing on a nice light grip, start to let your weight transfer forward, getting that really nice hamstring stretch. Okay, when we come back, step the foot, that left foot into the fabric, grip up high, try to straighten the leg out to make this the hardest type of pull-ups that you can. Bent knee makes it much easier. Okay, when you're ready, going up, exhale, 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 1. Good. Bend the knee, come up to stand. As you're standing, the right leg's trying to extend out in front of you. And then 10 little tiny pulses up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab on. As you pull up to the flex arm hang, tuck the left toes and travel your weight forward so that you land in front of the fabric. Beautiful. Find your balance. Maybe you're gripping behind, or maybe just balancing the arms out in front. When you're ready, 5 cycles of lunge, 10 cycles of lunge, I lied. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plant the hands down and step the right foot into the fabric. This time, bend the knees in and extend them out. Trying to repeat 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right knee drops down. Take a moment with pigeon pose. Good. Planting the hands in front of you, 3-legged dog. So the right toes plant and they scoot toward the back of the mat. Hips are lifting up high. The leg is still caught in the fabric. From here, shift forward to plank. Bring the right knee to the nose. And then extend back out, 3-legged dog. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower onto the side of the right hip. Right elbow down. Left hand planted in front. Take a breath. Hip lifts when you're ready. 5 cycles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last thing, lower onto your back. And when you're ready, right leg lifts, hips lift. Down and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, both feet into the fabric. And here we get a little bonus challenge if you're up for it. Both hips lift like a bridge pose. And then frog. The knees bend out to the side, heel slide in, extend back out. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, lowering the hips down. Bring the right leg in toward the chest, just a nice little kind stretch for it. And then right foot into the fabric, left straight leg toward your body. Good, left leg drops back into the fabric. Both legs swing a little bit left and a little bit right. Nice gentle swaying movements. And here we're heading to our Shavasana pose. So you can either just stay with the legs floating like this. This would be kind of like a legs up the wall pose. Or you can drop your legs to the ground. We're gonna take a Shavasana for a good minute or two. So just let your breath flow in and out. From here, start to introduce little movements to fingers and to toes. Bend the knees into the chest, so rock around on the hips for a moment. Eventually rocking up to a nice seated position. Let's join our hands together in front of the heart. Filled with so much gratitude that we're able to fill our body, to work our body, to become stronger here. And again, consider that question, where does my motivation come from? Is it something external or is it internal? And that question can help us to find the motivation and find the path that helps us continue doing powerful, strong goals in our life. And so with all this to help lead us onward, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Inhaling now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.